As a youth employment project, KUSA aims to increase the pool of employment. One way to do this is through increasing investment flows into the county. The project recently hosted a sensitization workshop in Mombasa. KUSA works with Mombasa's business communities and investors to create awareness around private equity financing and direct linkages.
The biggest challenge we find entrepreneurs have with their businesses is access to finance, which is maybe the reason most of you are actually here today. The good news is there is a lot of money coming into this region.
$3.6 billion US has been disbursed in Kenya by impact investors and DFIs over the past decade. Are we tapping into this potential? Because now private equity is not just in the US and the UK and in China. Private equity has come to Kenya. Private equity is accessible to Kenyan business. We have over 155 impact investors that say that they focus on East Africa. We have 48 of them who have offices in Nairobi. Are we taking advantage of this opportunity? Are we using the firepower that comes with private equity to boost, to position our companies to go to the next level? Private equity is just an investment that is made to a private company. Only that it's being made by special structures. We call them private equity firms or venture capital firms or angel investors. The only key difference is about the amount of money they put into a company. Angel investors are usually high net worth individuals, one or two people who have a lot of money and can put money in a company. They usually put very smaller tickets, about $5,000 to, they can put about 250,000. Venture capitalists go the next layer and they can put in, a bit more, but then they're usually more structured. So it's not really a one-man show. It's a fund with a process and with an investment committee that looks into how they are putting money. And then we all know private equity firms that put even bigger tickets. Another name that has been brought out there is impact investors, and these are investors who are looking more at the social and environmental return alongside commercial return. So they still want to make money out of investing in your business, but they also want to hear about the impact story.
We like investments that deliver a sizable amount of impact. Impact means they create jobs, or they put patients on beds, they put students in schools, they contribute to food security through the agribusiness value chain, they contribute to water and sanitation projects. These are the typical sector focuses which we invest our resources in.
In working with entrepreneurs, we're really looking to catalyze development of businesses. And the reason we want to do that is because it is for the good of this nation. When you catalyze development of businesses, you create jobs for Kenya's youth.
We need strategic networks, and that's what it takes for us to solve the problems we are facing every day. And this is what private equity brings. Private equity is not just about money. Private equity is about the force and the expertise that comes with the money.
Rajni Vora, and I'm a born Kenyan, born in Mombasa, and I'm chairman of Revital Healthcare EPZ Limited, Mombasa.
Slowly I went through.
I feel
with my
the younger generation to make a growth in their life, in meaning that if they want to reach to a different level of business, they need to get an equity partner, and this business will grow to a different level in 7 years' time. You can be a leader, you can be an investor into the next country, you can be an investor into other parts of the world, investing your company's image to different levels. Create that image, that's what I always tell the guys.
We look to work with growing businesses that the banks can't support. Typically, they are young or early stage, 1 or 2 years down the line. And because of the lack of track record or lack of collateral assets, typically land, they can't access that appropriate or flexible type of finance that fits very well with their business.
When you're desperate and you think that all I need is money, you will settle for the worst deal possible. And then you will spend the next 10 years trying to get out of that partnership. So my advice to entrepreneurs would be, think about what it is that you want, think about the kind of partner that you want, and do your investigations.
Most private equity funds have a life of 3 to 10 years, mostly I'd say 7 to 10 years. They put in money, but they don't want to be there, they don't want to be your shareholders forever. Yeah, so they're putting in money, say 1 million now, and in 7 years' time, they're hoping that the company will have grown into 7 times, 10 times its stake, and then they can exit. And when they exit, they have a few options. They can either go to an IPO, that is list the company, and so they're selling their stake to the public, or they can sell their stake to another private equity firm, or they can sell their stake to a strategic investor. This is mostly somebody who's in the same industry, or they can sell back to you as the entrepreneur. But the idea here is in 5 to 10 years, you've made so much money and your company has grown that you can actually afford to buy back your stake at a premium.
If ICDC comes to you and says, we're a good partner for you, do your investigations, find out who is ICDC, what's their motive, what drives them, are they compatible with where I'm going? Then sign up. And even as you sign up, make sure that you've got good finance people on board, make sure you've got a good legal team on board. And don't leave the work to these people, because again, you want your interests taken in. Understand what it is that they're doing. Participate in the structuring of the shareholders' agreements. Participate in the structuring of the financial model.
It's about negotiation. It's about talking to that investor and getting the chemistry right. Yeah, when you're bringing somebody to the table and you'll be working with them for 7 to 10 years, you have to understand each other. You have to be sold on the vision.
Yeah. But let me tell you a little example about a business that we invested in Nairobi. Okay, Mr. Obado, he was the pastry chef at Nyali Beach Hotel. Okay, then he went to work at Sarovar Stanley in Nairobi as head chef of one department, and then he worked in another top 5-star hotel, and he decided to start his own catering company. Okay, catering company was running for a couple of years. He was supplying a number of eateries in town, in Nairobi, and at one point an opportunity came his way. One of the eateries actually was going out of business, and he approached us. Actually, he approached a number of banks that couldn't support him. He was an entrepreneur. He started from humble beginnings, worked a couple of years on his own business, didn't really have the net asset value or balance sheet to actually go to a bank and say, I need 8 million shillings to buy this business that's going out of business and take over an existing business, which has cash flows. We supported him. We believed in his track record and history, his professional track record, and we supported him with these funds. Okay, he now runs a business. He has three branches in town. Okay, in 2011 we helped him buy the first one. 2013 we helped him buy the second one, and in 2014 we set up a new one, which is a 300-seater on Kenyatta Avenue called Cafe Delhi. Okay, Cafe Delhi competes with the likes of Java and Dorman, and you walk in there on a Friday evening, it's packed. We hope next year he'll actually open 3 more, not one at a time. But Cafe Delhi is a very interesting example of how we supported an entrepreneur to actually scale and grow his business. I think that the Kuza project is quite important in that it's looking to work with small and growing businesses and entrepreneurs to help them become more investment ready when they put their foot forward in front of the investor.
My takeaway really from the interactions that we have had here is that most businesses do not know that private equity exists. So I think that's like a bulb going off in their heads that we didn't think help was available, but help is really available.
The premise of the Kuza project to actually plug the gap between a lack of information that the entrepreneur or the small and growing business or the youth don't have, and the wealth of information that you can't really gather from a small forum like this, but you really need a partner like Kuza to actually bridge that gap.
For more information on funding to grow your business and to create jobs in Mombasa, please contact the Kuza project through these details.